या ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna. Venimada Prabhu, if I share the screen, would you be able to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's try. We are reading from the Canto 6, chapter 18, continuing from verse 32.
So, shall I read translation, Prabhuji? Or
Wait a second. Only the translations.
okay, Prabhuji.
For that, I need to change the settings.
Okay, Prabhuji.
1 second. Need to remove this and then. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Before starting, you can recite 3 times Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kasyapa Muni said, O beautiful woman, O irreproachable lady, since I am very much pleased by your behavior, you may ask me for any benediction you want. If a husband is pleased, what desires are difficult for his wife to obtain, either in this world or in the next? Again, Rosie?
Yeah, complete the chapter.
Okay. A husband is the supreme demigod for a woman. The supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva, the husband of the goddess of fortune, is situated in everyone's heart and is worshipped through the various names and forms of the demigods by fruitive workers. Similarly, a husband represents the Lord as the object of worship for a woman. My dear wife, whose body is so beautiful, your waist being thin, a conscientious wife should be chaste and should abide by the orders of her husband. She should very devoutly worship her husband as a representative of Vasudeva. My dear gentle wife, because you have worshipped me with great devotion, considering me a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I shall reward you by fulfilling your desires, which are unobtainable for an unchaste wife. Diti replied, O my husband, O great soul, I have now lost my sons. If you want to give me a benediction, I ask you for an immortal son who can kill Indra. I pray for this because Indra, with the help of Vishnu, has killed my two sons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Upon hearing Diti's request, Kasyapa Muni was very much aggrieved. Alas, he lamented, now I face the danger of the impious act of killing Indra. Kasyapa Muni thought, alas, I have now become too attached to material enjoyment. Taking advantage of this, my mind has been attracted by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a woman, my wife. Therefore, I am surely a wretched person who will glide down toward hell. This woman, my wife, has adopted a means that follows her nature, and therefore she is not to be blamed. But I am a man, therefore all condemnation upon me. I am not at all conversant with what is good for me, since I could not control my senses. A woman's face is as attractive and beautiful as a blossoming lotus flower during autumn. Her words are very sweet and they give pleasure to the ear. But if we study a woman's heart, we can understand it to be extremely sharp like the blade of a razor. In these circumstances, who could understand the dealings of a woman? To satisfy their own interest, women deal with men as if the men were most dear to them. But no one is actually dear to them. Women are supposed to be very saintly, but for their own interest, they can kill even their husbands, sons, or brothers, or cause them to be killed by others. I promised to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Kasyapa Muni, thinking in this way, became somewhat angry, condemning himself. O Maharaja Parikshit, descendant of Kuru, he spoke to Diti as follows. Kasyapa Muni said, my dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you Prabhuji, కొంచెం yeah, however, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Diti replied, my dear Brahmana, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden and what will not break the vow. Please clearly state all this to me. Kasyapa Muni said, my dear wife, to follow this vow, don't be violent or cause harm to anyone. Don't curse anyone and do not speak lies. Do not cut your nails and hair and do not touch impure things like skulls and bones. Kasyapa Muni continued, my dear gentle wife, never enter the water while bathing. Never be angry and do not even speak or associate with wicked people. Never wear clothes that have not been properly washed and do not put on a garland that has already been worn. Never eat leftover food. Never eat prasada offered to the goddess Kali, Durga, and do not eat anything contaminated by flesh or fish. Do not eat anything brought or touched by a Sudra, nor anything seen by a woman in her menstrual period. Do not drink water by joining your palms. After eating, you should not go out to the street without having washed your mouth hands, and feet. You should not go out in the evening or with your hair loose, nor should you go out unless you are properly decorated with ornaments. You should not leave the house unless you are very grave and are sufficiently covered. You should not lie down without having washed both of your feet or without being purified, nor with wet feet or with your head pointed west or north. You should not lie naked or with other women or during the sunrise or sunset. Putting on washed clothing, being always pure, and being adorned with turmeric, sandalwood pulp, and other auspicious items. Before breakfast, one should worship the cows, the Brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the supreme personality of Godhead. With flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, ornaments, and other paraphernalia, a woman following this vow should worship women who have sons and whose husbands are living. The pregnant wife should worship her husband and offer him prayers. She should meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her womb. Kasyapa Muni continued, if you perform this ceremony called Pumsavana, adhering to the vow with faith for at least 1 year, you will give birth to a son destined to kill Indra. But if there is any discrepancy in the discharge of this vow, the son will be a friend to Indra. O King Parikshit, Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, agreed to undergo the purificatory process known as Pumsavana. Yes, she said, I shall do everything according to your instructions. With great jubilation, she became pregnant, having taken semen from Kashyapa, and faithfully began discharging the vow. O King, who are respectful to everyone, Indra understood Diti's purpose, and thus he contrived to fulfill his own interest, following the logic that self preservation is the first law of nature. He wanted to break Diti's promise, thus, he engaged himself in the service of Diti, his aunt, who was residing in an ashrama. Indra served his aunt daily by bringing flowers, fruits, roots, and wood for yajnas from the forest. He also brought kusha grass, leaves, sprouts, earth, and water exactly at the proper time. O King Parikshit, as the hunter of the deer becomes like a deer by covering his body with the deer skin and serving the deer. So Indra, although at heart the enemy of the sons of Diti, became outwardly friendly and served Diti in a faithful way. Indra's purpose was to cheat Diti as soon as he could find some fault in the way she discharged the vows of the ritualistic ceremony. However, he wanted to be undetected, and therefore he served her very carefully. O master of the entire world, when Indra could find no faults, he thought, how will there be good fortune for me? Thus he was full of deep anxiety, having grown weak and thin because of strictly following the principles of the vow. Diti once unfortunately neglected to wash her mouth, hands, and feet after eating and went to sleep during the evening twilight. Finding this fault, Indra, who has all the mystic powers, the yoga siddhis such as Anima and Laghima, entered Diti's womb while she was unconscious, being fast asleep. After entering Diti's womb, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces her embryo, which appeared like glowing gold. In 7 places, 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, do not cry, and then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again. O king, being very much aggrieved, they pleaded to Indra with folded hands, saying, dear Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us? When Indra saw that actually there were his devoted followers, he said to them, If you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me. Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear King Parikshit, you were burned by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, but when Lord Krishna entered the womb of your mother, you were saved. Similarly, although the one embryo was cut into 49 pieces by the thunderbolt of Indra, they were all saved by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, even once he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily feature as Vishnu. Diti worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year, adhering to a great vow. Because of such strength in spiritual life, the 49 Maruts were born. How then is it wonderful that the Maruts, although born from the womb of Diti, became equal to the demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord? Next translation, 68. Thereafter, Diti said to Indra, my dear son, I adhered to this difficult vow just to get a son to kill you 12 Adityas. Indra replied, my dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interest, I lost sight of religion.
I
When
think
I
you missed 70, if I'm not. I prayed only for one son. Or
okay,
did you read?
okay, I prayed for only one son, but now I see that there are 49. How has this happened? My dear son Indra, if you know, please tell me the truth. Do not try to speak lies. Indra replied, my dear son, my dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interest, I lost sight of religion. When I understood that you were observing a great vow in spiritual life, I wanted to find some fault in you. When I found such a fault, I entered your womb and cut the embryo to pieces. First, I cut the child in the womb into 9 pieces, which became 7 children. Then I cut each of the children into 7 pieces. Again, Again, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, however, none of them died. My dear mother, when I saw that all 49 sons were alive, I was certainly struck with wonder. I decided that this was a secondary result of your having regularly executed devotional service in worship of Lord Vishnu. Although those who are interested only in the worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not desire anything material from the Lord and do not even want liberation, Lord Krishna fulfills all their desires. Oh my, okay. The ultimate goal of all ambitions is to become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If an intelligent man serves the most dear Lord who gives himself to his devotees, how can he desire material happiness which is available even in hell? O my mother, O best of all women, I am a fool. Kindly excuse me for whatever offenses I have committed. Your 49 sons have been born unhurt because of your devotional service. As an enemy, I cut them to pieces, but because of your great devotional service, they didn't die. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, Diti was extremely satisfied by Indra's good behavior. Then Indra offered his respects to his aunt with profuse obeisances, and with her permission, he went away to the heavenly planets with his brothers, the Maruts. My dear King Parikshit, I have replied as far as possible to the questions you have asked me, especially in regard to this pure, auspicious narration about the Maruts. Now you may inquire further and I shall explain more.
Hare Krishna, Venimada Prabhu. Very nice. Hope you had a nice recitation early in the morning,
Yes,
especially of
Prabhu.
this chapter. Something that you recollected or reflecting, something you want to share? How was it?
One thing, Prabhuji, if woman is really satisfied husband, definitely she will get all the things whatever she needed. And second thing is, whoever worship the supreme personality of Godhead, it is there is always protection is available for them. And yeah, that is Prabhuji. Even Indra wanted to kill the Emroy, but still it became 49 Maruts.
Hmm.
So it shows that taking the shelter of supreme personality of Godhead, then we don't need to uh, scare at anything. It is always protection is there.
Yeah,
And whoever serving Krishna, their material desires also fulfilled, and for them there is no need to ask for liberation. It is granted.
that is also nice. Nice observation. Yeah, good. Yes. Let's begin. I think this chapter, even though we have split it into two parts, still I think a lot of aspects are covered in this section that you have read. And let's go through the key points. And also, yeah, of course, the whole chapter has 78 verses, which have 30, 30 purports. In a way to understand, we go through the translations, and there are some areas where some morals and some lessons are there, which are assumed by the purports of Prabhupada. So to start with, from 32. श्रीकश्यपोवाच वरं वरयवामोरो प्रीतस्तेऽहम् अनिनिन्दिते स्त्रिया भर्तरि सुप्रीते कः काम इह चागमः. He's saying, Kashyap Muni is saying, oh beautiful woman, since I am very much pleased by your behavior, you may ask me for any benediction you want. This is the actually in this chapter we are discussing about the how the descendants of Kashyapa Muni and Diti have expanded, and in continuation here we are talking about Diti has a desire, and behind such a desire there is a plan, and the plan is to please a husband. If a husband is pleased, what desire are difficult for his wife to obtain, either in this world or in the next. पतिरेव हि नारीणां दैवतां परमं स्मृतं मानस सर्वभूतानां वासुदेव श्रियपतिः स एव देवतालिङ्ग नामरूपाविकल्पितैः युज्यते भगवान् पुंभिस्त्रीभिश्च पतिरूपदृक्. Husband is the supreme demigod for women. Oh, nice. The supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva, the husband of Goddess of Fortune, is situated in everyone's heart and is worshipped through the various names and forms of the demigods by fruitive workers. And Kashyapa Muni is saying, similarly, a husband represents the Lord as the object of worship for a woman. In the purport, Prabhupada is emphasizing in the next few verses the importance of a proper Vedic household life or uh, household life or grihastha ashram, where husband is the supreme demigod for a woman. Daivatam, I think the word that's used here is Daivatam, means divine in a way, and it also means demigod. Daivatam Paramam, and is also understood as supreme demigod for a woman. So Kashyapa Muni, on a way, he is pleased with his wife. At the same time, he is saying which woman is not going to be successful in her desires if she pleases her husband. In fact, pleasing her husband is the most important thing. This is what it says. And similarly, husband represents the Lord. Just like we know, the citizens have the whole and sole responsibility to please the king of the nation, because the king is the representative of the Lord. Similarly, for a wife, husband is the what do you call supreme. No, something else I want. Just like for the king, for the kingdom, or for the citizens, king of the nation is, for the citizens, the king of nation is the supreme to be worshipped and offered all services because he is the representative of the Lord. For women, yeah, wife, the husband becomes the uh, again, I'm stuck. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to go with the flow of rhymings. But yeah, here, just like king is the head of the world for the citizens. Yeah, citizens don't go to another king to ask. Rather, the king is their world. Yeah, I think that's the way. The king is their world. So all what they need, what they get is through the king. So the citizens serve the king and why? Because the king is a representative of Lord. Similarly, for a woman, husband is the world for her, and that's why the scriptures here, as a reference, we can see is that he is considered as Daivatam Paramam. So the supreme. Uh, why? Because he is the representative of the Lord. Yeah, and in the purport, Prabhupada mentions the yepi anya devata bhaktya yajante shraddhayanvitaha te api mam eva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. It's saying, whatever a man may sacrifice to the gods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but it is offered without true understanding. So here it also says that, of course, that the king or the husband are representatives of the Lord. They are not the Lord. Mm. Because one should also understand this. One can attain ultimate success when they are serving their authorities. Yeah, for a woman or wife, authority is the husband. For the citizens, king is the authority. Yeah, and one is serving them if they are following their authorities. Means if king follows the Lord, then he is uh, approved authority. Similarly, if the husband follows the Lord, then he is an approved authority. So in that way, and it goes further. Um, the example given here is that one who is not in the direct touch with the Supreme Lord and cannot conceive of exalted position of the Lord is sometimes advised to worship the demigods as various parts of the Lord. If women who are usually very much attached to their husbands worship their husbands as a representative of Vasudeva, the women benefit just as Ajamila benefited by calling Narayan. That is the example. Though Ajamil was calling his son's name Narayan because he was calling actually his son, but he was calling the name which is non-different from the Lord. That's why he benefited. Similarly, if a woman is attached, of course, which means then if a woman is um, still interested in the um, material affairs, then by serving her husband, yeah, she can benefit. This is what it means. In India, a husband is still called Pati Guru, the husband spiritual master. If husband and wife are attached to one another for advancement in Krishna consciousness, their relationship of cooperation is very effective for such advancement. Although the names of Indra and Agni are sometimes uttered in the Vedic mantras, yeah, Indraya Swaha, Agnaya Swaha, the Vedic script sacrifices are actually performed for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So we should always remember this. So the so-called husbands or the so-called kings or so-called rulers, we should always understand that we are representatives of the Lord. In the similar sense, authorities, yeah, of course, a wife is also authority. As a mother, she is also authority. So authorities should always understand that we are servants of the supreme authority, Vasudeva. तस्मात् पतिव्रता नार्यः श्रेयकामा समाद्य में यजन्ते अनन्य भावेन पतिम आत्मानम ईश्वरम पतिम आत्मानम ईश्वरम is saying my dear wife whose body is so beautiful and he is explaining all this is because he got attracted to the sugar coated uh, conversation of his dear wife. So she should very devoutly worship her husband as the representative of Vasudeva. सोऽहं त्वया चितो भद्रे ईद्रं भावेन भक्तित्यः त तं ते सम्पादये कामम् अशान्तीनां सुदुर्लभम्. By that, what happens? He's saying, uh, considering me as a representative of the Lord, I shall reward you by fulfilling your desires, which are unobtainable for an unchaste wife. So, here, Kashyapa Muni is speaking on scriptural purport. He is saying, if one considers husband as authority, and if the husband is of that authority connected to his, yeah, Lord, worshipping, then he has the power, or he has the uh, he can fulfill the desires of his dear wife. This is what here it means. It means to say, but of course, the husband is helpless unless he is favored by the Lord. Yeah, of course, if a husband thinks, oh, my dear wife, you want a child, okay, I am the benefactor, I can bless you with children. No, it doesn't happen unless the Lord, yeah, blesses. So, just the husband or the king or so and so cannot think that he is independently able to favor his subordinates or her subordinates. No, one has to still seek the the blessings of the Lord. So here is saying, I shall reward you by fulfilling your desires which are unobtainable for an unchaste wife. This means the wife should be chaste. Yeah. What does chaste means? Not only thinking about okay, chastity in terms of her own self, but chastity in terms of mind, with pure thoughts, yeah, not contaminated thoughts. And for such a sadhvi, this is the word, yeah, there is nothing impossible. Yeah. And it says that one can attain ultimate success. Yeah? And considering a husband as a representative of the Lord is something we could note it, because in today's world, I think we hear now and then, what is it, Rupa? The woman, wife killed her husband, or the other way. What are we hearing these days? The wife killed her husband.
Wife killing husbands.
Uh, Yeah, of course, I mean, I don't know the background, I can't judge or whatsoever. Yeah, the problem is not just of the women, the problem is also of men, because men are not taking the Lord as authority. The men become atheistic, the men become very materialistic. Because of that, they do not understand what is a married life, and they cause inconvenience. Similarly, women who are different or ambitions, because they are exposed to ambitious world for themselves, just like men wants a free life so that he can explore all conditioned life enjoyment. Similarly, women also would like to, in the times where men and women want to go together, advance together in the material happiness, all these challenges come. Whereas the Vedic way of living is that the husband is a top class devotee, and serving such a top class devotee, woman is also automatically satisfied. Given if woman is chaste, this is what this 36 shloka is saying. If woman is not chaste, then yeah, gone case. Similarly, a disciple, a chaste disciple, which means who is sincere, selfless, pure hearted, with only interest to serve the Guru, there is nothing impossible to attain, because the Guru is pleased, and when Guru is pleased, he can bestow every benediction. धितिरुवाच वरदो यदि मे ब्रह्मन् पुत्रम् इन्द्रहनं वृणे अमृत अमृ अमृत्यो sorry अमृत्यो मृत्यो पुत्राहं येन मे Ghati Sutau. He has killed my sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. This Indra has planned such a way that he sent Lord Vishnu, and because of that, my sons are killed. Uh, Purport word Indra Hanam means one who can kill Indra, but it also means one who follows Indra. Yeah, this is the meaning. The word Amrityum refers to the demigods who do not die like ordinary human beings because they are extremely long duration of life. Thanks to this purport, yeah, because I we come across of this quite often, that Amar in the residents of Indra Loka are, that's why even that is called Amarendra. Indra is called Amarendra because oh, he is eternal, immortal. No, soul though is immortal, but the position and himself is not that living forever. It says mrityum. Mrityum means death. Amrityum means no death, but it doesn't mean no death forever. Mrityu means no death for a long duration of time. For example, the duration of Lord Brahma's life is stated in Bhagavad Gita Sahasra Yoga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Vidhu. Even he has, uh, even the duration of 1 day or 12 days of Brahma is 4300,000 years, multiplied by 1000. So this means for us, yeah, just like a fly has a duration of 3 days. When you see from a ant's point of view, a human life is so like amrityum. Nisamyatadvacho vipro vimanah paryatapyata aho adharma sumahan adhya me samupastitah. Now Kashyapa Muni has thought, what did he hear? He want someone, I mean, Diti wants a son who can kill Indra. Huh? He thought, alas, so he lamented. Now he says, now I face the danger of impious act of killing Indra. So, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, although Kashyapa Muni was eager to fulfill the desire of his wife Diti, when he heard that she wanted a son to kill Indra, all his happiness was immediately reduced to nothing because he was averse to the idea. So, yeah. Aho Arthendriya Ramo Yonish Mayeha Mayaya Grihita Chetasa Kripanah Patisye Narake Dhruvam. Oh, sometimes what may happen is the plans of women, if they or the wife are not good, are not approved by scriptures, what may happen? One may go to hell. This is what. Oi, 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 oi. This is what it is said. Kashyap is thinking, oh, taking advantage of this. Yeah. Wow, what is the advantage? Because I am too much attached to material enjoyment, because I have lost sense control, and taking this as an advantage, what happened? My mind has been attracted by illusory energy of the Lord in the form of a woman, Maya, my wife. Therefore, I am surely a wretched person who will glide down toward hell. Huh? Narake dhruvam. Dhruvam means sure. Patishye, fall down. Ko atikramo anuvartantyah swabhavam iha yoshitah dinman bata budham swarte yad aham tva ajitendriyah. We are talking about Indra, who is to be killed, but Ajitendriya, Indriya is also is senses. Ajitendriya means one who has lost control of senses, means one who is a servant, who is a das, dasa, servant of what? Godasa. Ajita Indriya, unable to control my senses. What did I do? This woman, my wife, has adopted a means that follows her nature, and therefore she is not to be blamed. But I am a man. Huh? Therefore, all condemnation upon me. I am not at all conversant with what is good for me, since I could not control my senses. So here we understand that senses. Um, that's why we also use. Did you lose sense? or does it make sense? Yeah, the word sense has so much sense. Why? Because it's connected to the senses, perceptions of how we are thinking, and the purport highlights some very important things. The natural instinct of a woman is to enjoy the material world. Natural instinct. She induces her husband to enjoy this world by satisfying, and which is Jihva Udara Upasta. A woman is expert in cooking palatable dishes so that she can easily satisfy her husband in eating, and all this for the description. A husband should be trained at the very beginning of his life. Kaumaram acharet prajna dharman bhagavan iha. No, in Bhagavatam it is said, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, we will come to that soon. During the time of brahmacharya, a student life, a brahmachari should be taught to be expert in Bhagavad Dharma. Then, when he marries, if his wife is faithful to her husband and follow him in such life, the relationship between wife and husband is very desirable. However, a relationship between husband and wife without spiritual consciousness but strictly for sense gratification is not at all good. In fact, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 12th Canto, 2nd chapter, 3rd verse, it's especially described in Kali Yuga. Dam Patne Abhiruchir Hetu. The relationship between husband and wife will be based on sexual power. Dam. Abhiruchir. Therefore, householder life in this Kali Yuga is extremely dangerous unless both wife and husband take to Krishna consciousness. In fact, yeah, I think we are coming to the next. Yeah, so we will discuss about this instinct topic later. Uh, Shatam Sharat Padmotsavam Vaktram Vachascha Shravanamritam Hridayam Kshura Darabham Srinam Koveda Chestitam. A woman's face is all attractive. Her words are very sweet and they give pleasure to ear. But if we study a woman's heart, we can understand it extremely sharp, like blade of razor. In these circumstances, who could understand the dealings of a woman? Uh, in this sense, it's very difficult to understand the dealing of Kashyapa Muni. He's sharing his feelings, yeah, because he faced such a situation where he thought, yeah, for all good, my wife definitely will ask something good. And when she came across these things, then when he came across this, he started realizing, and he started also bringing references to himself, what is the reality. And he mentions that woman's face, yeah, when we say prakriti, is all beautiful, and women are said prakriti, nature. Nature is very beautiful, and beautiful as blossoming lotus flower during autumn. Autumn, what is autumn? Um, we know how in spring tulips are so nice that people run there to see fields of colorful flowers, and oh, what a close to nature and enjoy. So nice. Here, lotuses in autumn. What is significance of that? Yeah, I have to see. Her words are very sweet and they give pleasure to ear. All these things are nice, but come on, we can understand it. We strike extremely sharp like a blade of razor. Uh, in these circumstances, who could understand the dealings of women? When apramatta, when one is careful itself, one is risking, oh, one may slip, one may have an accident on the road. When one is apramatta, when one is not attentive, what may happen? Surely, it's very difficult to understand. In the purport, Prabhupada gives um, each of these through examples, like how Menaka has trapped Vishwamitra Muni, how Vishwamitra Muni fell, and how the bodily women's bodily features are attractive. When her face is beautiful, when her voice is sweet, she is naturally a trap for a man. All these things we see that slowly in a temple when there are good bunch of brahmacharis, gradually, not everyone are staying brahmacharis. Yeah, slowly they, um, yeah, they get married. Yeah, the debate is always, is it the fault of girls who go, or is it the fault of boys who get trapped? Yes, at least women or the girls, they are not taking such a vrata that, oh, they want to, uh, as per the varnashrama system, and brahmacharis are trying, and when these things happen, so we can see the hand of both, both are involved in this trap, but one has to. This is what Prabhupada mentions in the this purport, yeah, in this one, to see a woman's face and appreciate its beauty, or to hear a woman's sweet voice and appreciate her singing as very nice, is a subtle fall down for a brahmachari or sannyasi. Uh, Thus, the description of woman's feature by Kashyapa Muni is very instructive. Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, the stats, everything is given. One may want to read, they can read. But here, this purport and next purport, actually, these two, 41 and 42, are mm, purports that help us to understand how to lead a very Vedic way of living by careful control of senses, whether it's male or female. In fact, in the next verse, purport Prabhupada mentions that, yeah, women are also spirit souls. Yeah, one cannot say, it's all fault of women. And in general, if someone is addressed as Purusha, yeah, Purusha, the meaning is enjoyer. Uh, when male is called as Purusha, doesn't mean that he can be a full enjoyer. Yeah, whether it is a male or a female, both can be addressed in a way as Purusha, because both want to enjoy, and to that degree they are affected. When a woman, I think they covered that under the Kasham thought, under the circumstances, who can understand the heart of women? Chanakya Pandey says, Vishwaso naiva kartavya strishu raja kuleshu cha. There are two persons one should not trust, a politician and a woman. These, of course, are authoritative Shastric injunctions, and we should therefore be very careful in our dealings with women. Very interestingly, I am speaking to most of the grihasthas here. Yeah, mainly these 10 verses are mainly for one who have not entered into grihastha life. How to lead a successful brahmacharya life, and but of course, if someone enters, how to deal with it, and how to uh, work together in a cooperation by pleasing the Lord and have a successful grihastha life. Now, this is what is covered. Sometimes Prabhupada meant, sometimes our Krishna consciousness movement is criticized for mingling men and women, but Krishna consciousness is meant for everyone. Whether one is a man or a woman doesn't matter. Lord Krishna personally says, Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. Whether one is a woman, Shudra or Vaishya, not to speak of being a Brahmana or a Kshatriya, everyone is fit to return home back to Godhead if he strictly follows the instructions of the spiritual master and Shastras. We therefore request all the members of Krishna consciousness movement, both men and women, not to be attracted by bodily features but only to be attracted by Krishna. Then everything will be alright. Otherwise, there will be danger. नहि कश्चित् प्रियः श्रीणाम् अञ्जसा स्वासिसात्मनां पतिं पुत्रं भ्रातरं वा घ्नन्ति घ्न घ्नन्ति घ्नन्ति अर्थे घातयन्ति च. He's saying to satisfy their own interest. Women dealing with men, of course, they should be very saintly. I think this is in this one. Yeah, women are supposed to be very saintly, but for their own interest, they can kill even their husbands, sons, brothers, or cause them to be killed by others. As I was just giving an example, these when we turn on through the papers, we can see so many things happen. But of course, we cannot say it's only the fault of women. There is a fault of men, might be, and the fault of the men are also killing women. So we are in such a pathetic times in Kali Yuga that there is nothing spared, yeah, for good living. A woman's nature has been particularly well studied by Kashyapa Muni. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Women are self-interested by nature and therefore they should be protected by all means so that their natural inclination to be too self-interested will not be manifested. So, just like children, yeah, children have a lot of desires. I want to do that, I want to do this. Yeah, but of course, the parents take care so that those habits, what the kids want to develop, are not harmful. Yeah, like it could be watching or what do you call this? Mm, Exerting in watching, playing games. Mm, so all these things, addictions, yeah, over addictions. So when the parents take the responsibility to take care of the kids, children, because natural inclination is to enjoy. Yeah, we when we gather, for example, Bhagavad Sapta, we see, oh, all of us we have come to hear Bhagavatam. Of course, if that is the main focus. But of course, the kids, come on, it's not main Bhagavatam. The main thing is come together, enjoy. Even if we are tired, the kids are not tired to enjoy. Day and night, they can enjoy. So the inclination to enjoy is so strong in kids. The parents regulate the life. Similarly, yeah, it is said, yeah, Prabhupada writes, Kashyap Muni has studied, women are self-interested by nature. uh, and therefore they should be protected. When someone has self-interest, there should be someone for protection. What about men? uh, Men also have self-interest. Why only women? Men also have self-interest. Men also have dreams. You know what? I want to be this. I want to have a nice car. I want to have a nice home. I want to have a nice wife. I want to have nice life. Self-interest is there even in men and women. Uh, so both have to be controlled. How it's possible? By the guidance of spiritual master, by the instructions of by following the instruction of spiritual master, one can be saved. It is said here, a woman should be cared for by by her father in her childhood, and by her husband in her youth, and by her grown sons in her old age. The world that we are seeing is going, what do you call, going in wrong direction, where yes, one could investigate to understand the root cause. Yeah, it could also be the self-interest that we are talking here. But women are not given protection, uh, and then because women are not given protection, they have to manage themselves, and when they have to manage themselves, there is exploitation. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Arjuna is saying, you know what happens when there are no qualified men. Yeah, of course, in Yuddha, in the battle, if the soldiers are killed, all their wives will become uh, will lose the protection. There is no protection. And of course, here, irresponsible husbands, irresponsible men community is the cause of lack of protection. But and due to which women would like to protect themselves, and in the spirit of protecting themselves, they might they might miss the nature of feminine nature of mm, caring, loving, and also responsible in protecting the community. All these things slowly diminish. So in this is the injunction of Manu, who says that a woman should not be given independence at any stage. Women must be cared for so that they will not be free to maintain to manifest their natural tendency for gross selfishness. So again, I mean, there is still a lot to discuss, except this men women rights and topics. But this one verse, it says in the last, this is very important. The Krishna consciousness moment is so beneficial that it can very easily counteract the contamination of material nature. That is what we need to promote. It's not that we start blaming, hey, if men are good, why will women have to do all these things? Or men should not have to blame women, hey, if women are good, men wouldn't suffer. I think the problem is that we have ended up that we lost all the values. Men have lost their values, women have lost their values, and due to this, we are suffering. The solution, the one and foolproof solution is Krishna consciousness movement. So is so beneficial that it can very easily counteract the contamination of material nature, which results from one possessing a material body. That is the solution. If we don't have material body, no problem. How to have no material body? By becoming a devotee. Hmm? In fact, it's that one who has the spirit of enjoyment is described as Purusha, as I was mentioning. Whether one is a man or a woman, he is not interested in serving others. Everyone is interested in satisfying his or her own senses. Krishna consciousness, however, provides first class training for a man or a woman. A man should be trained to be a first class devotee of Lord Krishna, and a woman should be trained to be a very chaste follower of her husband. That will make the lives of both of them happy. This is the ideal or maybe to be stage. Now, what should we do? Sometimes this is the question, right? Oh, yes, yes, yes. At least let me follow my duty. I want to become a chaste wife of my husband. Whatever nonsense he does, let me follow. No? Yeah, that's not what is said. If the husband is not a devotee, one should be very careful that if she follows him, then whatever wrong he is doing, she will be part of that. She is also part of it. Oh, no, no, no. Uh, the Manu Samhita is saying just follow husband blindly. No, the scriptures are saying that follow husband. Yeah, of course, the husband is also in good terms. What if he is not? Yeah, don't be part of the problem. Don't support him with your all interest. Just try to resist to whatever extent one can, because both we have to understand the husband is an individual spirit soul, the wife is an individual spirit soul. For this moment of time, both have come together to serve together to reach Krishna. uh, So that is the goal. If that's not happening, we don't start supporting. Oh, I've seen some families where the husband, yeah, drinks, and the wife is so chaste to her husband, she also drinks. So nice, isn't it? Made for each other. This is what. No, that's not approved. Wait one sec. Someone is sending mails. Uh, okay, we'll move forward. There's still a lot to cover. प्रतिश्रुतं ददामीति वचस्तन्न मृषा भवेत् वदं नार्हति चेन्द्रोऽपि तत्रेदम् उपकल्पते. I promise to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. Oh my God. This is the problem. Kashyapa Muni had a problem, and because he is intelligent, he had a solution. The solution, he said, but Indra does not deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. He had a plan. Huh? Um, the plan is, yeah, Kashyapa Muni concluded, Diti is eager to have a son who can kill Indra. Since she is a woman and after all and is not very intelligent, I shall train her in such a way that instead of always thinking of how to kill Indra, she will become a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. So, one stop solution for all our problems is to become a Vaishnava, to become a proper devotee. Vaishnava is not just a designation or social title. Uh, okay, there is this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Vaishnava is one more class of people. No, it's not that. All, even in Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, or in uh, mm, uh, yeah, yeah, in this Varnas, one who worships Lord Vishnu is a Vaishnava. It's not like there is a fifth class of people there. No, whatever in Varnas, whatever one is, in whatever ashrama one is, if he is understanding the principle of serving the Lord, whether it is a man or woman, yeah, doesn't matter. If one worships Vishnu, he is Vaishnava. So, and when one becomes a Vaishnava, then all good qualities manifest in him. And when he all good qualities manifest, one cannot think to harm others. One is not interested if one is harming uh, a Vaishnava is not worried. So here he's saying, let me change situations that such a way that my wife, if she becomes a devotee, if she becomes a Vaishnava, then there is no problem. If she agrees to follow the rules and regulations of Vaishnava principles, the unclean core of her heart will become cleansed. Prabhupada writes, Cheto Darpana Marjanam is the secret. This is the process of devotional service. Anyone can be purified by following the principles of devotional service in Krishna consciousness. For Krishna consciousness is so powerful that it can purify even the dirtiest class of men and transform them into topmost Vaishnavas. Uh, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yeah, Narottam movement aims at this purpose. Narottam Das Thakur says, Prajendra Nandana ye Sachisuta hai lesai, Balarama hai ila nitai, Dina hina yata chila, Hari name uddharilya, ta ara sakshi jagai madai. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying anyone, if they take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, who are non-different to Lord Krishna and Balaram themselves, then one can be freed from any kind of mentalities. The proof is Jagai and Madhai, the demons. Thus, Kashyapa Muni tried to transform his wife into a Vaishnavi so that she might give up the idea of killing Indra. He wanted both her and her sons to be purified so that they would be fit to become pure Vaishnavas. And of course, sometimes a practitioner deviates from the Vaishnava principles and there is a chance that he may fall down. But Kashyapa Muni thought that even if one falls while practicing Vaishnava principles, he is still not a loser. So, yeah, he was just giving his best thing. Okay, if Diti understands and follows well and good, otherwise, also at least she is practicing some Vaishnava service that will change. So Kashyapa Muni said, and then Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Iti sanchintya bhagavan marichaha kurunandana uvacha kinchit kupita atmanam cha vigarhayan. uh, Thinking this way, became somewhat angry, condemning himself what kind of things he has done. He spoke to Diti, saying, Shri Kashyapu Vacha Putraste Bhavata Badre Indra Deva Bandavaha Samvatsaram Vratam Idam Yadi Anjo Dharayishyasi. If you follow this vrata that I'm going to say for 1 year, what you're planning will happen. He's saying you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Hmm? So indirectly, he said, okay, if I'm going to give you a vrata, if you follow this vrata, yeah, your desires will be fulfilled. But no, if not, then whatever you are thinking will backfire. He said the word Indra ha means refers to an asura who is always eager to kill Indra. An enemy of Indra is naturally a friend to the asuras. So this is what Ditiruvacha Dharayishye Vratam Brahman Bruhi Karyani Yani Me Yani Cheha Nishidhani Na Vratam Grananti Yani Uta Yanyuta. She said, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now, let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden and what will not be, and what will not break the vow. Please clearly state all this to me. Uh, so, yeah, anyway, there is mention about women's psychology further. Anyway, so Kashyapa Muni said, hmm, Shri Kashyapavacha na himsyad bhuta jatani na sapennadratam vadet na chindyan nakha rohmani na sprashed yad amangalam. So he's saying, uh, you should not harm anyone, you should not curse anyone, you should not speak lies, you should not cut nails and hair, touch impure things like skulls and bones. Hmm? Yeah, I would ask you to read purports of this, which gives subtle, yeah, supportive instructions how to lead a proper Vaishnava life. Paramo Nirmatsaranam. A Vaishnava, how he becomes, why is he non-envious? This is what is highlighted. Na apsus nayan na kupyeta na sambhashyeta durjanaihi na vasita dauta vasaha srajam na vridya vidrutam kvachit. My dear gentle wife, never, he's saying, never enter the water while bathing. Hmm? Never be angry. Do not even speak or associate with wicked people. Never wear clothes that have not been properly washed, and do not put on garland that has already been worn. So all these things he is saying. uh, um, then nochishtam chandika sorry, nochishtam chandikannam cha samsi sam vrashalahratam भुञ्जीतोपदकया दृष्टं पिबेन नाञ्जलिना tva apaha. He's saying, never eat, don't eat something which is leftover, offer or something offered to goddess Kali, contaminated by flesh or fish, brought by a Shudra or even by women in her menstrual period. Drinking water with joined palms, all this should be forbidden. Purport Prabhupada mentions generally the goddess Kali is offered food containing meat and fish, and therefore Kashyapa Muni strictly forbade his wife to take the remnants of such food. Actually, a Vaishnava is not allowed to take any food offered to the demigods. A Vaishnava is always fixed in accepting prasad offered to Lord Vishnu. Through all these instructions, Kashyapa Muni in a negative way instructed his wife Diti how to become a Vaishnavi. So he said, don't do these things, so that one automatically does what is suitable to be a qualified devotee. So the question comes sometimes, okay, we are of course coming from Indian background because we are um, yeah, we come across some obligations. Yeah, we may go to some temples, or even if we don't go, someone will come and say, this is the prasad of so and so demigod. This, what should we do? Yes, one should very carefully not honor it. One should very carefully deal with it. How to deal with it is that it is said one can offer this whatever is given to cows, mm, or one can offer that to the trees. So why there is, it's not kind of disrespecting, it's not like yeah, what is this fanatic ideology? No, it's not that. We are committed to honor Vaishnava Prasadam, whatever is offered to Lord Vishnu, that's what we take. Uh, Through all these, what here we can see Kashyapa Muni himself is guiding his wife to follow that, so there is no wrong in it. Mm. And then notice, did I cover everything? What to do, how to deal? Rupa, only these two things, right? If someone gives, how to do, one can give it to the cows, one can leave it at the trees or in running water.
Yeah, these are the things. Normally,
Anything else? There are some other, I think these are the ways. Hmm. Okay, and then Nochishta Sprishta Salila Sandhyaya Mukta Murdaja Anarchita Samyata Vak Nasambita Bahischaret. And then he says that um, one should not go out on the street without having washed mouth, hands, and feet in the evening with hair loose, without being properly decorated, unless you are very unless yeah unless he is telling to his wife, unless you are very grave and are sufficiently covered. Kashyapa Muni advised his wife not to go out on the streets unless she was well decorated and well dressed. He did not encourage the mini skirts. Prabhupada writes in the purport here. He did not encourage the mini skirts that have now become fashionable. In Oriental civilization, when a woman goes out onto the street, she must be fully covered so that no man will recognize who she is. All these methods are to be accepted for purification. One may say, no, come on, We can change our clothing. Yeah, come on. I'm not exposing intimate parts. Yeah, there is no wrong in. But yeah, one should not dress such a way that it is creating disturbances oneself for oneself, yeah, and also for the society. If one takes to Krishna consciousness, one is fully purified, and thus one remains always transcendental to the contamination of the material world. Nadhauta pada prayata narda pada udakshiraha Saita naparan nanyai na nagna na cha sandhyayoho. He's saying, you should not lie down without having washed both of your feet, or without being purified, nor with wet feet, or with your head pointed west or north. You should not lie naked or with other women, or during the sunrise or sunset. Hmm. And then what she should do, this is very important. It's not like only let me lead a very austerious life and that will give me ultimate success. No, dautavasa suchit nityam sarva mangala samyuta pujayet pratarasat prag yo vipran shriyam achyutam. What should one do? Uh, Putting on washed clothes, being always pure and well, and being adorned with turmeric, sandalwood pulp, and other auspicious items. Before breakfast, one should worship the cows, Brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the supreme personality of Godhead. It is in the purport Prabhupada mentions. If one is trained to honor and worship the cows and Brahmanas, he is actually civilized. The worship of the Supreme Lord is recommended, and the Lord is very fond of cows and Brahmanas. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. In other words, a civilization in which there is no respect for cows and Brahmanas condemned. In other words, a civilization in which there is no respect for cows and Brahmanas is condemned. Yeah. One cannot become spiritually advanced without acquiring Brahmanical qualifications and giving protection to cow. So, cow protection ensures sufficient food production prepared with milk, which is needed for an advanced civilization. One should not pollute civilization by eating the flesh of cows. A civilization must do something progressive, and then it is an Aryan civilization. Instead of killing the cows to eat flesh, civilized men must prepare various milk products that will enhance the condition of society. If one follows the Brahmanical culture, he will become competent in Krishna consciousness. The reason why I'm reading this purport, especially because yeah, recently Anup Prabhu, now he is in Finland, yeah, and then yeah, he came across a student, and they were discussing about vegan and cows, cow milk, and exploitation of meat, and all these things. How right it is to still be lacto vegetarian, or at least yeah, of course, avoiding eggs. Yeah, dairy farms, is it right? In today's world, there is so much um, cows which can um, produce or supply milk are kept, and even calves, if they are not female, they are just straight away taken to slaughterhouses for meat industry. And after the cows stop producing or supplying milk, the cows are also ending the same end. So how can we say that everything is going fine? So the key is to respect the cows, means one is not doing all these things. So it's not the problem of cows, because cows are eager to offer their milk in the service of the Lord. Huh? Just like atheists and theists are there. Atheists are against worshipping the Lord. Yeah. And there are theists who are eager to serve the Lord. So cows are eager to serve the Lord. And we have to give protection, just like the devotees need protection, the cows need protection. It's not that, oh, no, 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 I think we don't need devotees anymore because devotees cannot be protected. It's all atheistic anyway. In Kali Yuga, after 5,000 years, the world is going to see more disasters. And what can we do? Yeah, we are very few. We don't really need to care. Yeah, even if we care, nothing is going to happen. No. So we have to understand this principle that we should respect. No? The way the cows are given protection. Cow protection ensures sufficient food prepared with milk, which is needed for an advanced civilization. In fact, the studies say that one who takes milk in the night, warm milk, has better brain tissues, fine brain tissues. This shows that, yeah, which we usually can understand the the quality of cow milk. But of course, if the cows are sent to the slaughterhouses, or if cows have no freedom to move around, I think if you have seen the labels, right, on the milk products or any product, for example, or even on eggs or meat, there is a grading 1 to 5. Have anyone seen that? No? I mean, I'm saying in Germany. Yeah, there is a label that tells, and then 5 is considered the best, which means the cows have enough sufficient space to pasture the grass. They are given proper care, uh, like yeah, care, and of course, yeah. Still, what happens to the cows in the end if they don't supply milk? Yeah, are there still extra mile are these farmers taking to give protection till end of their life? Yeah, one may visit some farms around, or one can ring up and understand how is the afterlife of milk production is for the cows. Yeah, in this way we can try to find as much mm, protection that we can offer. Yeah, because the solution is not to become vegans. If you want to, I mean, there is a nice book. There's a book, I think, Cow from Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. I will find that and share it again. He has presented this in the Cambridge University. This book. The point is not to give up consuming milk products. The thing is responsibility. It's not become irresponsible not to give protection to cow. Come on, it's too difficult to give protection. Rather, let's not consume. Then no consumption. By not consuming, I'm waging a strike. With the strike, the community will stop. No, the whole farmer community will collapse. Huh? And people will not even think about milk at all. The only thing they will do is, of course, it's still people are interested in meat, isn't it? Just if we stop drinking milk, if we stop drinking milk, will the meat industry stop producing cattle? Yeah, it's a foolish idea. People who are meat eaters will still want to do it, and milk will be given a secondary priority. And that's what is happening more and more. That will anyway happen more and more. Why? And we say, okay, I'm not part of the problem. We are not at all part of the problem. Yeah, that's right. But we are also not doing what we should do because we should protect. By not by doing this and thinking, oh, I'm not part of the problem, yeah, we become more irresponsible. Instead of fixing for a better future, for a better world, if we stop it, then what is happening? The cattle, come on, yeah, people are not the cows are not encouraged only because they can give milk. Huh? There is still so much, yeah. For example, pigs. I don't think pig milk is sold anywhere. Correct me if I'm not right. Does anyone? At least I know donkey milk is famous. Yeah. Yeah. How have anyone heard? Mahatma Gandhi, he drank. Did he drank donkey's milk or goat milk? Anyway, that's that's not anyway, not the topic of the day. But yeah. But it is pigs, but pig industry, right? It is one of the booming meat industry. Yeah, you have so many farms. In fact, when I was a student, when I was distributing flyers for some pizzeria or something, all of a sudden there was an Indian guy and he engaged me in his work. And then he said, okay, come to my workplace. Yeah, he took to Milham on the Ruhr. And yeah, after driving, he took, oh, at that time as a student, getting into a car, which is a Mercedes Benz. Oh, so nice feeling. And he took it to his shop. And then the reception was great. And slowly, then he said, he showed the flyers what we have to distribute to the people, and it is about his he has opened this new shop, or supplier shop. What is it? Pig meat. He has his own, um, yeah, of course he will not rear any cattle, but he'll get the meat straight from the such farms. And then, no question, so I didn't distribute such flyers. I immediately, though I came in his lavish, nice car, I just found the occasion, said, "Oh, I have something to do," and I don't know whether he understood or not. Then I left the place. Uh, we are not going to support all this meat production. Hmm. At the same time, we can't simply generalize and say, "Okay, let's not also protect cows," because it's ending up in that. Uh, we have to see, okay, what kind of products that we are taking. That's anyway. We are linking to make the problem bigger. We are linking these two things to make the problem bigger and feel like, oh, all these are together. Yes, because it's about the same animals. But the if one doesn't consume milk, there is no harm for the meat industry anyway, isn't it? Venmada Prabhu, the milk was not so in demand in the past also, right? In the Western world, milk consumption was not so much anyway. It was more meat consumption, because meat one can store for many days. And yeah, the understanding is, milk. Oh, okay, it's for the calves. Yeah, so that the cows or the cattle can grow properly, so that they can get a chance to be cut for meat. Anyway, again, we are maybe not so straight topic for the day, but I think this is something. Yeah, if someone is here who can pass on this to our Anup Prabhu, yeah, he messaged me. We didn't manage to talk, and maybe this opportunity can give him. He can refer this, and we can still further discuss. स्त्रियो वीरवतीश्चाचेत् स्रग्गन्धबलि मन्दनैः पतिं चाक्षोपतिष्ठेत् ध्यायेत् कोष्ठगतं च what is that one should do? With flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, ornaments, and other paraphernalia, a woman following this vow uh, should worship women who have sons and whose husbands are living. Sumangali. The pregnant woman should worship her husband and offer him prayers. She should meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her womb. Hmm? So women should see husband in her womb and should offer respects. The child in the womb is a part of husband's body. Therefore, the husband, through his representative, indirectly remains within the womb of his pregnant woman. And then I'll stop here. We'll continue the next part next week. So this verse is saying, Kashyapa Muni, he said, Samvatsaram pumsavanam vratam etad aviplutam dharayishyasi chet tubhyam shakraha bhavita sutta. Bhavita sutta means bhavit, for sure. Mm, for sure you get a son if you follow this. And this Vrata is saying, he's saying, and saying so, he blessed her with a child. And this is what happened. If you perform this ceremony called Pumsavana, adhering, uh, Pumsavana, not Pumsavana, Pumsavana, adhering to the vow with faith for at least 1 year, you will give birth to a son destined to kill Indra. But if there is any discrepancy in the discharge of this vow, the son will be a friend to Indra. All this is being described because we want to understand. Yeah, Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know how the one who is born demons became friends of Indra. Yeah, that's why this whole description we went through. And thank you very much for your time. Any thoughts? Any questions? No, then all fine. I think Krishna Prabhu has joined, if I'm not wrong.